President.
Senator.
Thank you, Mr. President. Today, the Senate will consider my legislation again to extend the temporary payroll tax cut. This week, the Senate has been given another opportunity to do the right thing and provide much-needed relief to the American worker. It shouldn't be news to anyone that Americans are desperate for solutions. Millions of Americans are unemployed, underemployed, or have simply given up looking for a job. In between looking for a job or paying higher paying employment, Americans are busy trying to figure out how to handle high health care costs, looming bankruptcy, and the threat of foreclosure. As a senator from Nevada, I understand how difficult it is, perhaps more than any of my other colleagues. My state has the unfortunate distinction of leading the nation in unemployment, in bankruptcies, and in foreclosures. I hear from my constituents every day on these issues. Nevadans, Democrats, Independents, and Republicans are looking to Congress for answers, and they are frustrated that they are not getting them. Even with economic difficulty Americans across the country are experiencing, Congress appears to be prepared to stage a partisan standoff rather than extending a payroll tax cut for hardworking Americans. Mr. President, I cannot allow this to happen. Americans deserve solutions. The plan I have introduced to extend the payroll tax cut is a workable solution that will provide relief for Americans responsibly. In fact, the solution I'm proposing today borrows a cost-cutting idea from the bipartisan Simpson-Bowles Commission that can actually pass Congress and be signed into law. My proposal allows American taxpayers to hold on to more of their hard-earned wages while not punishing the nation's job creators like the majority proposes. Under my plan, American taxpayers will not see a tax increase. In fact, my plan prevents a tax increase on those already receiving payroll tax credit. Today, Congress can do the right thing by allowing employers to continue to invest in their businesses so that they can plan for the future and, of course, hire more workers. I understand that Democrats would prefer to pay for the payroll extension by raising taxes on employers. But treating tax dollars responsibly is absolutely necessary if we're going to see long-term economic growth in this country. In this case, we can extend the payroll tax cut and still pay for it. I also understand that not all Republicans support my plan. To be honest, I disagree with some of my colleagues who claim a payroll tax holiday is not necessary. I believe that we should allow more Americans to hold on to their hard-earned wages. For those who are already struggling to live within their means, this payroll tax cut will continue some much-needed relief. Today, I'm asking my Republican and Democratic colleagues to come together, join me to help continue the payroll tax holiday without raising taxes on businesses here in America. This will help preserve long-term job growth in the future. My proposal is a workable solution containing provisions endorsed by both the majority and my colleagues in the House of Representatives. This is the only version of the payroll tax cut that has the potential to pass Congress and to be signed into law. My proposal pays for the payroll tax cut by reducing government spending where it's no longer needed and requires the richest Americans to pay higher premiums for Medicare. This will allow us to strengthen and preserve Medicare for those Americans who rely on the program the most. This is the same approach endorsed by Democrats who say the richest Americans should do more. Americans want solutions. They do not want more partisan bickering. Congress this week has another opportunity to do the right thing to help hardworking Americans extend the payroll tax cut holiday. I make calls back to my home state every week. In those calls, I asked Nevadans if they think their children will have access to a better, brighter future than their own. And for the first time in history, a majority of Americans and a majority of Nevadans believe that their children will have less opportunity. By continuing down this path of partisanship, Congress is robbing the American people of the dream for their children. This needs to stop. We in this body need to seriously consider the high stakes of the political games that continue to unfold on this Senate floor. American workers need solutions, and they need relief right now. Congress should come together today, put partisanship aside, pass meaningful legislation that will benefit all Americans. Thank you, Mr. President. I suggest the absence of a quorum.